good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio. John, myself, Foxchair on the show this evening is the one and only Bridgeman and the star of the show, our Linda. How are we doing, boys and girls?
Evening, Oxchair. Evening, Bridgeman. Evening, everyone. I hope you're all keeping safe and well.
Well, can I say a huge good evening to you two guys? Massive good evening to the boys in the lobby, to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Semi-finals. We're in the semis. Don't know who we're playing, but we're in the semis. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
I'm hoping for Wraith Rovers myself, Linda.
Well, good point, yes.
I'm meaning that, Ox. That would do nicely. Yeah, awful.
You're a bad woman. How are you, Bridge?
I'm great, pal. Thank you very much. After watching that last night, I'm really, really happy.
All
things
right.
Things are looking up.
What do you think, Linda? We get it over and done with?
Yeah, let's hear from him. Looking forward to it.
Let's hear from the view from the bridge.
View from the bridge. Can't take it anymore. View from the bridge. Can't take it anymore.
Well, can I say a big good evening to everyone, and welcome to A View from the Bridge. On last night's game, Rangers versus Livingston, 26 September 2020, in English, 1920 and 2021, League Cup quarter-final game. Livy come to Ibrox on the back of a great result last weekend and with some good form. Our manager has emphasised the importance of this tie, and he's been rewarded with a very dominant performance by our team, and showed how keen the team are. The team are performing well in this competition. They really are. Alfredo Morelos was among 6 changes in the wake of last weekend's draw with Motherwell. We were showing a lot better form than the weekend at the start, and throughout the first half we created a few good chances. Livingston cleared the Morelos effort off the line, and Patterson had a fine shot blocked by their keeper, who had a good game. Coulson hit a great diagonal ball which Bassey collected brilliantly, drove into the box and hit the right footer wildly over the bar from a very promising scoring position. He used the wrong shooting foot, that's what I say. Another Golson pass set Scott Wright clear, only for him to miscontrol the ball. He was having one of those nights. The game seemed to fade and the tempo died, and we were all happy when half-time came. Half-time 0-0. Hadji replaced Wright at half-time, and he proved to be a catalyst to up our game. We started very well, and the rest of the team copied him and upped their game. On the 46th minute, Lundstrom gets a great interception and pushes a tremendous ball through to Morelos, who finds Roof, who in turn finds Hadji with a nice square pass, and he returns a favour with a square ball for Roof to tap in for a simple finish. 1-0 for the famous. Great team play there, and a thoroughly deserved goal for Rangers. Mulligan glanced a header wide from a Hadji delivery, and Morelos had a drive tipped over the bar. Hadji definitely made a big difference to our team. Roof was then twice denied by the Livingston keeper, who kept Livingston in the game, and he had a really good game too, their keeper. On the 62nd minute, the Livingston keeper tried to pick out a pass for Fitzwater, but Morelos intercepted about 20 yards out, moved into the box, sidestepped the centre half, and picked his spot with a tremendous finish past the keeper and into the net. The Livingston keeper regained his composure for a wee while and pulled off a terrific save as he pushed the ball away after a Golson header. Rangers moved on into the semi-finals. Well done, Rangers. Full-time 2-0. During the game, looked like Livingston had copied some of the Motherwell stuff with some time wasting from the start. You wonder why. They never got into our box at all, and from open play, and not one shot at goal, nor a corner. Once again, the ref was not too kind to us in most of the game. He could have sent off 2 Livy players for some poor tackles. The crowd went home happy with no real grumbling. Patterson had a good game and went off very tired. He looked tired anyway. He gave his all for whatever. Hadji did have a massive impact in their play in the second half and could have been some fans' man of the match, but he had only played for 45 minutes. Lundstrom came into his own last night And the talk that I heard round about in the Copeland area was that he was the best player on the park, and I agree. I thought he was outstanding. I did like Bakuna when he came on. Looks quite good. He's got some nice tricks and will do well for us, I'm sure. Player by player. McLaughlin 6, Patterson 6, Goldson 7, Balogun 7, Bassey 7, Kamara 7, Lundstrom 7, Rebo 6, Roof 7, Relis 7, and Wright 6. Special mention for our defence. They did very well last night. Goldson and Balogun in particular were very good. Closely followed by Bassey. My man of the match was Lundstrom. Closely followed by the defenders. Match stats, possession 63 for Rangers, 37 Livingston. Total shots 19 for Rangers, 0 for Livingston. Shots on target 8 for Rangers, nothing for Livingston. Corners 5 for Rangers, nothing for Livingston. Fouls 17 for Rangers and 10 for Livingston. And I cannot believe that stat. I can't believe it. However, that's the end of A View from the Bridge.
View from the bridge. Can't take anymore. View from the bridge. Can't take anymore.
Wow. We all see the game different, Bridge. We all see the game different. Linda.
Well, it'd be boring if we were all the same, but I agreed with quite a few things that Bridge said there, and he was right about the importance of the tie and how it had been emphasised by the management team. We needed to get through that. The most important thing for me was that we got through to the semi-final. If we got a really good performance and along with that, it would have been a bonus. But overall, it was a bit of a kind of indifferent night. I did think that we started okay. Like Bridge said, I thought our two fullbacks could have put us on easy street. I thought that was the two really good chances. And then I thought we just lost the tempo of the game. We lost our way for the rest of the half, really, after about 15, 20 minutes. And we came out in the second half, all the fans were very frustrated at half time that obviously we hadn't got the goal. But we certainly upped the tempo, and got that early second half goal, which everybody just breathed a sigh of relief in the stadium. And then obviously we got the second goal, and we really should have went on and got a third, fourth and even a fifth Ox. But maybe they started conserving a wee bit of energy. But overall, just absolutely delighted to get through to the semi-final. And a lot of these players haven't played at Hampden, so it's going to be a great experience for them.
Yeah, everybody sees it different. I think that we weren't great. The first half of the first half, I thought that Patterson shot a bit, Bridge. I thought him and Bassey started the game well. Patterson fell out after about 25 minutes, but done okay. He's considering he's been out for a while. Again, I couldn't understand where Wright was playing. I see you scored him as a 6. I wouldn't disagree with that. I don't know where he was playing, London. I said it last night, and I've watched bits and pieces again. I still can't get it.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I don't think he knows where he's playing. Sorry, pal. Don't mean to do.
On you go, then Linda, then you, Bridge, yeah?
No, I would agree. We know Bridge gave Scott Wright a 6. The difficulty for Scott Wright as well, I don't know if you guys agree, but I thought his touch was quite poor last night, Ox. I know he's playing in a slightly different position, but there was a couple of times he was just a wee bit off it. He got a brilliant ball from Goldson as well early on, and he was a bit unlucky. It was maybe just a bit straight. And I think if he gets that and he tucks it away, he might have a different game. But I agree with you. It's hard to see exactly where he's playing in that front 6.
Bridge, yeah, you were coming in, mate?
Yeah, I was just got. I do apologise, Linda. I didn't mean to. I think Scott Wright and most of the people around about me were saying the same thing. He's got bags of talent, but somehow or other he trips over the ball or he doesn't quite gather it. It's stuck between his feet, that kind of thing. And I noticed that Patterson was doing a similar thing for chunks last night. But then you realise, getting closer to half time, he's getting more and more tired as the game went on. So I think maybe there's something in that for Wright, but everybody said they were when Hadji came on. In fact, George sitting next to me, he said, "We've got to get Hadji on. He's got a bit about him insofar as play's concerned." And he was right. George was right. The boy came out and he was absolute dynamite. Absolute dynamite. Really good. I'm very happy.
Right, I'm gonna take you up on one thing, Bridge, mate. I just, it's all about opinions, and I seen it differently. I thought Lundstrom done okay, but never had a man of the match. I thought he was that deep. He never influenced the play in an attacking sense, and we were under no pressure. Yeah, he strolled a bit, but I'll be honest with you, Bridge, I think you could have done that job last night.
No. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. He had 2 tremendous interceptions, and he had a fantastic pass through for Morelos, which was the first goal. Morelos on the roof and roof back to Hadji and back again. And then he was involved in a lot of moves, particularly coming down the wing as well. Bass's legs went away from him. Three quarters of the second half, he wasn't there, and Lundstrom stepped in. I thought he played brilliant. I really did. So obviously, I agree. Everybody sees it differently.
Yes.
Lundstrom's coming onto a game. He came onto a game, and he was absolutely outstanding for me last night. And that's the Lundstrom we're looking for. Someone that can do that job like that. Let's let the rest of them go on, mate.
Talking about people, I've just been sent a message from last night. Once again, another lawyer's letter. Dear Rangers reader, I'm writing in regards with the outrageous behaviour of a certain Rangers Highhegian. The man in question was observed indulging in spivery, whereof he received a macaroon bar and a spearmint gum in an area known as a bistro. There's also the matter of a Jim Baxter book borrowed from my client, Mr. S. Skipper. Had the book been borrowed from a library, a substantial fine would have accrued by now. I understand the man in question is no stranger to fines. The man yours sincerely, Senga Beltrami.
Well done, Skipper.
Does that ring a bell if anybody we know, Mr.
Oh,
Bridgman?
of course, I'm sitting here. That was hilarious talking to him last night. It was really good fun. Brilliant. Well done, Skipper. I'll get you back for that right enough, Skipper.
Right, Linda. He's for Lundstrom. I'm not against him. What I'm saying is I thought he was just average last night. Bridge thought he was superb. Thoughts?
I would kind of go in between that.
Oh, gaff that fence.
I know, I'm sorry. I don't think he was quite man of the match, and I thought he was I think that's a bit harsh, Ox. I thought he was better than average. He did okay, and I thought when he kept it simple, quite sort of short, sharp passes, he was involved in the 2 goals, because Bridge is right. I think the first one he passed up to Roof, and then Roof obviously put Hadji in, and Hadji played Roof back in, and he also closed the goalie down for the second goal. So that was quite a surprise to see him as far up the park. And in fact, when Alfie got the ball, everybody around me thought he's going to square it to Lundstrom, but Alfie was having none of that. There was no way he was going to pass that ball. So I thought he influenced the game in terms of his involvement in the goals. I'm just not sure where his best position is, Ox, and I don't know what you think about it.
I think there's signs that he's coming on again. I agree with Bridge with that, but I mean, he was sitting between Balogun and Connor for most of the match. I'm telling you, Bridge could have done that. No, what he done last night. But that's only my opinion. Be interested to see what people think phoning in, Bridge, yeah?
Well, of course. It's all opinions. All about opinions.
Yeah. And I never thought I'd say this. Here's one for you. Hadji coming on gave us that spark for 5 minutes, Linda.
5 minutes? The guy
off
was brilliant the whole half. Sorry. I'm going to mute.
I know you get called Linda sometimes at the weekend, but Linda, carry on.
Ox, I've just picked myself up from the floor there. So, well said on Hadji. Yeah, I thought he did terrific when he came on. He did give us that wee spark, and you could see what it meant to him as well, getting the assist. And, the crowd really needed a pick-me-up last night, Ox, because it got a bit flat. I mean, maybe people have different opinions, but I thought it was quite flat, and I don't know about Bridge, but everybody round about me, we were actually thinking, are we actually ever going to score tonight? So had you just given us that spark and, you know, as I say, getting the 2 goals, it was more a relief than anything else. But I'm looking forward to seeing Hadji now. He seems to be fully fit. He's got over the COVID issues. So let's hope he can kick on now.
I have to agree with that.
Linda too, and you come.
I think Hadji he became a wee bit of a favourite with an awful lot of Rangers fans who didn't like him from my sitting in the stand.
You know, he's always been one of my favourites, Bridge.
I know, pal, but I'm not being funny with it. When he came on, he was just brilliant for us. He went for everything. And he fired people up during about him, you know. Fired people up, and people started taking an interest in the game because, you know, the last 15 to 20 minutes of the first half, it was just dire. And nobody was bothered. It's like, listen, a wee game of kicking, I can't even be bothered, I'm too tired, you know, that kind of stuff, you know. That's what it felt like anyway. However, he had you come on and he get battered 3 or 4 times, clattered into the referee, just ignored virtually every one of them. And it's just, they went on and on and on. The referee just went on. Don Henderson, the referee, he does it all the time, yes. Easy, take the easy one. Don't give the free kick or the throw into Rangers. It's the best method. Just don't give it to them. Done. So anyway, that's what I thought. I thought Hadji was excellent. And, you know, I believe me.
He gave us a spark, Bridge. He came in, he made a couple of passes, and there's where my frustration lies with him. I thought he was excellent, Linda. I thought he gave us that spark. He looked his attitude, and then when we've got the goal, I'm saying, right, let's take this going. You've got this game. For 10 minutes, he was head and shoulders above everybody else in the park by a distance. Yeah. And then,
did he fall out the game?
In my opinion, but it's only my opinion, and I've been wrong before.
Yeah, he maybe did fall out the game, and he also, again, just that first touch, he gave the ball away a couple of times as well, and maybe just wasn't quite on it with his touch, and maybe he got a wee bit frustrated with that. But yeah, you know, I don't know, Ox, he's obviously not played for a wee while as well.
That's fair. That's totally fair. That's totally fair, Linda. Yeah, but he did give us that massive spark last night, and Bridge is right. The game at half time, people were saying, oh, it's on the telly, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe as well, Ox, they only thought they might have put him on for 20-25 minutes. If we had gone ahead in the game and were quite comfortable, they maybe weren't expecting to play him for 45. But they had to take Scott right off because nothing was coming off for him. So it was better that he was substituted.
I thought it was the right substitution, personally. Right, okay, Bridge, we'll get these phone lines opened if that's all right with you, Malmucker.
Go for it, buddy. Go for it.
All right. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, but ended up a pretty comfortable win, London. I accept your point. We could have went on and won 3, 4, 5, 6, but we just finished the game off. I can't remember, as Bridge said, I don't think they were up the park, were they?
No, they didn't really create as many problems as I thought what Motherwell had done on Sunday. And I don't know if that was just because Livy maybe didn't offer as much. Although they did obviously beat the best team in the world on Sunday, didn't they? So we were
I can't believe that.
We were maybe expecting a bit more. And I don't know if people thought that the defence just looked a bit more comfortable last night. Ox, I thought Golson played very well, like Bridge said. Balogun seemed to be, happier with that partnership. And Patterson and Bassey did quite well too. So we did kind of just see the game out. But I thought Golson had a good game and his passing was better last night, particularly the kind of long range stuff.
I agree. I thought Bridge went for think Connor was a class act in it, but I think he's turning into a cult hero, Big Bassy, who I was quite scathing with his performance up at Perth. I thought he came into the game last night, and for about 75 minutes, for a left back, he's an entertainer. He's a 10-minute left back. On you go, Bridge.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say that Bassey had an absolutely tremendous game, particularly in the second half after Hadji came on and rumbled everybody up. But I thought Bassey, and most people round about me said it was probably his best performance for Rangers last night. And he deserved a wee bit more if he'd got that ball went through, because it was a fabulous pass, and he brought it down beautifully and just stroked it onto his left foot and from left to right. And it's a pity it wasn't on his left foot. I'm sure he would have made a better job of it. But it's just skydived. That was a sin, because that was a whole different ball game if he scores that.
Move it
For
was
him,
Bridge.
for him.
What a move!
That was brilliant. Everything about it was great. And as I've said, and you've said it yourself, Big Golson, just quality all the way through his game. It was only twice last night he got a wee bit perturbed about things. Other than that, I think him and Balogun, particularly Balogun, I thought he also had one of his best games for Rangers. Really, really good. He won as many balls as he wanted to win. He won them, both in the air and on the ground. And I saw him passing 3 balls last night with his left foot. Perfect. So he can't beat it.
But I said last night in the aftermatch show, but when Bassey done that turn, the last time I seen a turn like that is when you dropped your bus class.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh dear.
Oh, it was brilliant, that turn, Linda, wasn't it?
I know. He's just so full of enthusiasm, isn't he? And as Brid said, if he'd scored that goal, it would have been a worldly goal. But as soon as it came on his right foot, you were just waiting to see what was going to happen with it. And we all probably thought it was going to end up in Rosette, and unfortunately it did. But again, Ox, we're just lacking a wee bit of composure sometimes in front of goal, aren't we? I mean, I thought Kamara Roof, he took his goal well, but he could have had maybe 2 or 3 goals at least last night.
Should have had 2, yeah.
Yeah, didn't he, Bridge? The one that Alfie played him in, and you thought he's just going to stroke that into the net. He hit it right at the goalkeeper. So we're just, as I said, maybe we're rushing things in front of goal when we should just be maybe taking our time a wee bit. But yeah, Bassey's entertaining.
Can you take a wise man says sometimes you've got to take a positives with negatives, but the strikers have scored the last 3 goals. Sakala, Roof, Morelos. Is that a step in the right direction, Linda? Then Bridge?
Yeah, I would say so, and it is all about confidence with strikers, isn't it? We're talking about we can't, in terms of scoring, we're looking at not scoring from open play. I know Sakala's was obviously from the corner, but it was good last night that we got the goals from open play. All right, the second one was a bit fortuitous, but you've still got to put it away. But yeah, it is good that the strikers are scoring, Ox. I would totally agree with that.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of people were expecting Morelos to miss that, but what he was going through, because he managed to pick the ball up just past the 18-yard line, something like that, and he strolled into the box and sidestepped that centre half who ended up flattening his bum, And I thought to myself, now what's he going to do with this? But he actually smashed into the net as opposed to lying back a wee bit and just hoofing it out of the bar. So that'll do him the world of good, getting a really good clean strike goal. Well done to Morelos. Seriously, he didn't do too much wrong last night either. Rockstead, his passing is. I mean, the first half he was going back and picking the ball up the halfway line.
I know that. I get you. I get you. I mean, pass the ball and the thing, mate. And Roof. I mean, I think Roof's got to be right up the park, mate. I don't think there's any point in him coming deep trying to get it. He's not that type of player. But look, we're starting to score goals with our front 3. It's a sign of positivity coming back. I know that it was only Livingston at home, but I mean, God, they beat the greatest team the world's ever seen, and Sunday with the greatest manager the world's ever seen. You know.
They've named the ball after him, haven't they? Ange ball.
Aye. But we know where we are. I think the manager and the coaching staff know where we are, Linda, and we'll just keep pushing and keep pushing. It'll come.
Yeah, because I think Gary Mack was quite honest after the game, and he said that, still quite a bit of sloppiness about in terms of, parts of the game. He was quite critical again of perhaps our finishing not being as good as it should be. We're getting up to the box, but not taking the right decision, or maybe, as I said earlier, just a bit of composure in front of goal. So they're not coming out and saying that everything's rosy, Ox. They're very, very honest. They've always been like that. But you couldn't, you could tell that Gary Mack was absolutely delighted that we've got to Hampden and we've got a chance of getting to the final. And, the management team and the players, that must be one of the priorities to get a cup this year for sure.
Well, I think the priorities are the league, Europe, and then the cups come. But you can only play the matches in front of you. And last night it was a priority, and we're there.
Yeah.
We're there. We weren't there last season because we blew it at St Mirren. We lost in the final. We were robbed the year before, and we lost in the semi-final. The big Sadiq semi-final.
Oh, that was shocking, wasn't it? Shocking stuff, Shocking stuff.
Definitely, Ox. I would say that obviously the league's the priority because of what it brings, and then you're over Europe. But a cup would be lovely, and if you get that one, the League Cup, not looking too far ahead, but it's an early, conclusion before Christmas. You would get to the final, and I would love to see us lift that. I think it would be fantastic.
Yeah. No
The
problem.
draw's tonight, isn't it? The draw for the game.
Yes. I'm still thinking Wraith Rovers is,
No. Come on, you. Behave yourself. That mob will murder them. If they don't, there's something seriously wrong. Murder them.
What's happened to your sense of humour, Bridge?
I'm happy. I just love it, and I agree with you. But sadly, I do agree with you. But somewhere along the line, you want somebody to do, I think, something against somebody. But you're right what you said there. How come there's a team, 3 days earlier, they go and beat them, and they come to Ibrox. Well, when they were on the ball, they're quite neat and tidy on the ball, let me say. But really and truly, they got up to our halfway line, then they got into maybe 10 yards inside our half, and it just didn't happen for them after that. They went back the way. It was safer passing the ball 60 yards back to the keeper.
McLaughlin must have the easiest game ever, Linda.
Yeah, I don't remember him having a save to make at all. There was not even any scary moments either, Ox. So, as I say, it was a very comfortable night defensively, but there was a wee bit of kind of nervousness in the stadium, I thought, anyway, just because we had missed a couple of early chances, and then, as I said, we the tempo dropped off. But once we got that goal and then got the second, the relief was there. You could tell a mile away that the fans were just, we could breathe, The
relief was palpable, wasn't it, Linda?
Yeah.
All the way around the stadium, everybody sat down. You could see smiles on people's faces. They're having a joke with each other, which they weren't be able to do with the last few games.
Aye. Quarter-final cup. We move on. We park it. Some good things. Guys getting back. Good to see Hadji back. I thought Bassey. Good to see young Patterson getting some game time. Everything. A lot of positivity. I set Bridges' point that Lundstrom is slowly taking part in the squad and it's starting to slowly influence games. We want consistency and better performances, but that will come. Our strikers have started scoring. I think when I look, Kent and Wright were wingers, we can't say they're playing as wingers, so I don't want to be too critical of them. The system just needs to be tweaked for me and get them wide and get them taking people on, Linda.
I know, and they probably see themselves as playing that type of role too. But they'll obviously just fit into whatever system the manager's asking them to play because they're all desperate to get on the park. But yeah, And it's a bit of mixing it up a wee bit as well, Ox. You know, if he's going to be asking maybe Kent and Wright to play through the middle at times, but going over onto the wing for a spell, and as you say, try and isolate the fullback and then see how you go on. But they seem to be playing through the middle nearly for the majority of the game. And I know Scott Wright scored a couple of goals already this season. One of them came from a kind of run through the middle, I think. And then he got that other one, I think that was against Livingston as well, wasn't it, in the league? But yeah, it is quite frustrating. And we're all saying the same things. But as I say, that they'll just be doing what the management team tells them to do, won't they?
Aye, correct. And we don't know, we assume the substitution was for him, but he might have had a knock, or it might have been planned because you've got 5 substitutes, Bridge.
Yeah, did we have 5 substitutes last night?
I hope so, because
I thought we only played 4, but I can't count them. I'm sure it's like that. No, but the substitutes, thought the substitutes did well when they came on, particularly Hadji, and then the boy Bakuna. Oh my goodness gracious, he did some nice moves. Nice moves that boy's got. And I think the others were just, to me, just running the mill, to be honest. I thought Sakala came on and ran a wee bit, but they didn't actually go and do anything, you know, in my opinion, except Bakuna. I thought Bakuna made that impact near the end.
He showed glimpses. He showed glimpses, eh?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Because he's up shooting into the Rangers end, he's getting, I'd rather get a Copeland Road end, he's getting a lot of good, positive vibes for the fans, and they're willing him on to do something. And he got himself into the box a couple of times, and then ran into a wall of white. You know, it's sometimes it's very difficult.
Thoughts, Linda?
Yeah, when he came on, you know, I was quite glad to see him. I think he came on maybe 20 odd minutes to go. And we were all kind of desperate to see what he could do. As Bridge says, he looked quite lively, and you can tell he's what he wants to play, and he probably is quite frustrated that he's hardly had any time. But hopefully he's really up to speed now in terms of his fitness, Ox, and we're going to see a bit more of him. But just, I think, reading a few things, I think he can play in midfield or up front, can't he? So he's probably quite versatile, I think, for us.
Aye, well, it's another striking with Bob. We'll see where it takes us. But showed glimpses last night and again my Ibrox, but there'll be bigger challenges ahead, Bridge.
Of course, and the better there will be huge challenges ahead as we go on. But as we go on, the team needs to start gelling. The manager and his teams needs to start making noises. They need to make without causing ructions or anything, you know. So it's all got to happen for us in the softly catchy monkey or something like this. So that's what we need to do. The form's vital. And we saw Golson, we saw Balogun last night, Bassey, all in quite good form. And the big fella, Lundstrom, good form in the midfield. I thought Kamara had one of his quieter games, but very effective when he's on the ball. Only a couple of times he ran into trouble. So I'm glad he's signing, and I do really hope that Golson signs. That will make a huge difference to the squad, massive difference, and a big difference in the team and the defence. When, believe it or not, when Tavernier came on for the young Patterson, who was well thought of and well clapped. But it was a big difference because you could see the boy was starting to waver a wee bit, and Tav got a wee bit of positivity at the game for him. Brilliant. I loved it.
Yeah, I think that was enough for Nathan last night. You forget London has been out for a month with an injury, you know.
Yeah, and I don't know, we maybe got a wee knock during the game. I think that's obviously what Bridge alluded to earlier on. And when he went off, Gerrard was kind of asking him, and he kind of pointed at his foot a wee bit. So I don't know whether he maybe did a kind of block tackle or something like that, Ox. And it might even have just been the foot that's been sore. But it's been good. It was good to see Nathan back, and he's got tons of energy, and that was a great wee chance he had in the first 10 minutes, and he hit it kind of straight at the goalkeeper, and he was disappointed he didn't score, you know, you could tell, but it was really good to see him get some minutes as well. Yeah,
It wasn't the greatest effort, but gave him his due. He hit the target and made the goalie save it, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, quite a reasonable crowd at Ibrox last night for a game it's not that attractive live on the TV. Yeah, we're moving into the autumn. People have had to pay a lot of expense in the last few months. A reasonable crowd, okay. We'd like to see the place full all the time, but a bit of common, but not a bad crowd, Linda.
Yeah, I think was it about 35,000 they said was there, Rox.
Yes.
If you think, we've actually had obviously the 3 games in 6 days, and Rangers put out a wee tweet thanking all the fans today just for their attendance and showing the support. So 3 games, 3 different competitions, and I think overall they were saying that there was about 129,000 people attended the 3 games. So we're certainly still showing our support, and I think we were the top attendance in the Europa League first match day as well. So well done all the Bears and Bearettes, because it's not easy times for everyone either, isn't it?
We must have struggled to count all the Livingston supporters then last night. There must have been 12 and a half of them or something there last night. Unbelievable. If you get 35,000 fans. Sorry?
The half comfy.
Oh, I don't know. I just say, you just think of the number, any number you want to think of. Seriously, Rangers are going to pay that team the equivalent of 15,000 tickets for Ibrox. Maybe more. Maybe, what did you say it was, Linda? 35,000?
I think so, Bridge. That's what I read.
So let's take 1,000 off the top, right? And say that's for whatever it is. And there, James Cribbins, that's 17,000
No, I don't
tickets.
think it's
Tickets we're going to give them.
I think it's after you take expenses. Usually they get about a third, Bridge, so about 12,000 worth roughly.
What do you mean expenses? That's what I said. Take some thousands off, whatever it is.
Right.
They're still going to walk away with 15 to 17,000 pounds. 50%, I think. And never, no doing it, not taking fans in or nothing. As if they weren't allowed in. They just never came in.
They'll walk away for about 250,000, 300,000 pounds, Bridge.
It's shocking. I know, it's just disgraceful. It really is. Anyway, it's none of my business because it's Livingston's. No shame in them at all.
No. They like the £4, Linda, didn't they?
Okay, Rangers fans are keeping quite a lot of clubs afloat probably, and think about what we did down in the lower divisions as well, Ox. It was, they do like the £, but as I say, Rangers fans will support the club, and 35,000, as you said, is all right for a cup game, considering that's been 3 games in a row. 3 different competitions.
We would like it full. We would like it full, and people would take the opportunities, but we understand, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We do understand, But and let's hope that 35,000 there manage to get tickets for the semi-final.
Yes, that's what we want. That's what we want.
So.
No, Bridge. You're not allowed to go to Hampden. You're not allowed to give other teams your money. Remember, you said that. No.
I'm giving Rangers my money. I'm giving Rangers my money. I'm not giving anybody else it. Only Rangers.
3/4 of your money for the semi-final.
It's a home game for us. It's a home game for us.
No.
It's
not Bridge. You're a man of principles.
I'm well principled. Don't you worry about me, boy.
And if you don't like the ones, you can have other ones. Right?
I'll be in. I'll tell you. First chance I get, I'm at Hampden. Do you remember the one we went to against? We played Queen's Park.
Yes.
In the league.
Yes.
And it was like, I don't know, it was about 40-something thousand Rangers fans there. You're like, what? Against Queen's Park, 40. I think it was over 40,000. And a young Aird scored for us in the last seconds of the game. Unbelievable.
Yes, but at the moment you'll be giving your money, 3/4 of your money to St Johnstone, Hibs, and Celtic.
No for me.
That's where your money. I'm just saying, Bridge. I'm just
no for
you
me,
know.
pal. No for me. Yeah. It's just terrible to do these things.
It's pulled and divided before, Bridge. So Yeah. When mate.
That's fair enough. If it's got to be like it's got to be. It was like that last night. And I've got to
It's
live
always
with it.
been like that, mate. It's always been like that. Right, okay. Let's come and join us. Speak to Linda, speak to Bridge. We said we had a big announcement. We're not quite there yet. We're dotting the I's, stroking the T's. Let's just say it's something we hope that people will find enjoyable, Linda. Is that fair?
Oh, it's exciting. It's exciting. Yes.
We're
I'm
not
sure they
quite
will.
there. We're not quite there yet. We're getting there. We're very, very close. Working away in the background is your fox. Bridge, isn't he? Never stops.
Absolutely. It's nose to the grindstone, man. That's what it is. Nose to the grindstone.
Yep. It makes me laugh. Right, okay. Bakuna. What position do you see him playing in?
Oh, I don't really know very much about him, Ox, and you just seen the obligatory YouTube, clips of him. He looks quite exciting. Can pick a pass, can score a goal. So I don't know. Is he maybe going to play as a kind of number 10 role, or are we thinking that he'll maybe sort of fit into the midfield? Is he going to mix it up in there? I don't know. It's quite difficult, isn't it, to see where exactly he's going to fit in.
What's your initial thoughts, Bridge?
Much like Linda was saying there, I see him as a really good number 10. But in the sort of, shall we say, the new world, not a number 10. So I see him as he looks a real quality player. And I could see him at that level and as a number 10, linking up well with some of our midfielders, helping things out and carrying forward. I can see that happening. Because he likes to run forward. Well, going by last night, admittedly it was only a wee cameo he had, but looks a really good player, looks as if he can handle himself, likes to be in among it, and takes a good pass. And that's maybe where he'll work. I don't see him as a defensive mid in any way, shape or form. I don't see it.
I don't see that neither. No, I agree with you. No, I don't see that, Bridge. I can see him playing similar positions where Joe Aribo plays for us at different times, depending on the state of the squad, Linda.
Yeah, that would be a fair shout. Because Joe's played a lot of games as well, hasn't he, Ox? I think he's played nearly every game, and I don't know, I thought he looked a wee bit leggy last night at times, so it probably wouldn't do him any harm if he could maybe swap out and Bakuna gets a chance, because it is going to be a long season and you don't want people to get burned out. So maybe we'll see Bakuna. I don't know if he'll get a start on Saturday. I don't think he will. It's an away game. But certainly he probably would like to get more than the sort of 15-20 minutes that he's been getting over the last few games, just so that he can really, get into a match and he's not coming on and trying to make an impression. But yeah, similar to Joe would be good for the team, I think.
Aye, we'll see. The boy's just joined us. He's getting fatter. Maybe he can help us unlock these low blocks, Bridge, that we keep going on about. Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what you're looking for. You're looking for someone who can watch what he's doing. Obviously, can hold the ball and isn't fear to hold the ball. Can see what needs done and start to make it happen, either by quick 1-2s, which we're talking about, or indeed decisive through balls. And we looked at it, particularly in the first half, because Rangers had probably about 90% possession, attacking possession anyway. And we just couldn't put the ball through properly. And I'm not being funny, because chances were there, and all of a sudden we're falling over the ball. The ball, we stop, our body stops, and the ball keeps going. You have to pick it up again, and you get stupid challenges coming in at you, and you've lost it. All of a sudden you've lost it. And that goes on and on and on. And we need, from that point, when you've got the ball, get a wee bit of space, find a pass. Just find a pass. See what you can do. And I don't see any of our players, and never saw it last night, actually finding the pass. I really do. We found some, but I think there's many, many more passes could have happened, and it would have made a big difference. Huge difference.
All right, we'll see what it takes us with Bakuna. a worthy addition to the squad. I had the pleasure of talking to Big Southside yesterday quite briefly, and he wanted Simpson to play. No, that he recognised how Simpson played at the weekend. He just thought to give him more game time to see if we can improve. But I've been honest, we did look more assured with Balogun in there, Linda, even though we were under very little pressure.
Yeah, unfortunately that's just the case, Ox. I think everybody that, round about me was glad to see that Balogun was in the team, and even though he doesn't give us that balance that Bridge talks about in terms of the left-footed player, because he was right in front of where I was in the second half, and when Balogun was running up the left-hand side with the ball, you could see he's running and he's trying to play it with his right foot, so it is awkward at times, but I just thought they looked more assured. And I know we're trying not to be too critical of the boy Simpson, but we can only say what we see, basically, Ox, and he doesn't look the part, but we'll always give the guys a chance when they're with Rangers, but early doors for him, it doesn't look too good.
Obviously. Mark Haitley was on the other night and he admitted it took him 6 months to get up to speed, so we're not saying that Jack Simpson's gone already, but you can only see what you say. Say what you see, Bridgeman, can you? Plus Roy Walker.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right, but I still think that Simpson is too light to be a defensive type centre half. He's not a defensive person. He wants to get the ball and move forward with the ball with his feet. And yes, if you can get a game with a team that can actually accommodate you there, you could be a really good player. But the truth is, Rangers and Scottish football is not like that in any way, shape or form. And he has to be able to stand firm and take the heavy tackles or make the heavy tackles, whatever he's got to do. Now, without being dirty, because I noticed a few times he's went in hard and all of a sudden the referee's blown up against him because he sees something. And it might have been a foul for all you know. But if you're a wee bit heavier, maybe he gets a nice story in his body, it might make a huge difference to him, be able to stand firm. You could see he gets knocked off a wee bit, easily knocked off the ball. So these guys run at you. Like you saw it last night. These people run at you, and when they're jumping at you. They're not jumping for the ball. They're actually jumping at you. And if you're fear at all, you'll bat away for that. You really will. And that's what Teague is. And he gets caught. You hit him.
You know me, I'm the one for spreading rumours, Linda.
Go on then.
Rumour has it, there was more people under the disco lights in Cleopatra's than there is in a certain place in Glasgow tonight.
Oh my God. Again.
Sorry,
the stadium's not full, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I was just going to say to Ox that he's given that nightclub it's Sunday, mate.
Yes. I've been polite, yes.
Sunday name. I love that one.
Yes. I've done it in a few Sundays as well, but that's another story.
That's for another night.
That's for another place, not for another night. Right, okay. But that's the information I have sent to me courtesy of Fox News. So you can work
Fox
with
News. Oh, brilliant. That's superb, pal. It's Fox News. I love it. I just love it.
Oh dear. It might not be true, but it's quite funny, isn't it, Linda?
Oh, it's very funny. Very funny.
I'm sure somebody have the pictures. Oh dear. Oh, you've got to laugh. Right, okay. So, job done. We move on. We start going to moving towards Dundee. Linda?
Yeah, absolutely, Ox. I think we've got 3 games before the next international break, starting on Saturday. Obviously away at Dundee. Dundee haven't obviously made a very good start in terms of the league. I think they're sitting bottom. But it's going to be probably a stuffy game. It's Rangers coming to town, so we know how they're going to, probably set up. So we've got to be on our game. be a tight park, and it'll probably, as you said earlier, the low block, and we've got to find a way to score goals. But hopefully we'll take a bit of confidence from last night and really go at it and keep the tempo of the game up as well, and and really just go for the jugular and an early goal and get that second goal. It just makes such a difference.
No, you're absolutely right, Linda. It's you could see it in the team. What they wanted. They obviously all wanted the second goal. When the first went in, everybody was up for the game, and that's the impact the young lad had. So everybody wanted it, and yeah, it really was a great goal. The passing that they had was just brilliant for the first goal, fantastic, and the second goal was just all Alfie, wasn't it? Just all Alfie. Brilliant stuff, just brilliant stuff.
Yeah, I've also been sent straight off the wire for Fox News. They're quadrupling distance in that place. Yeah.
What? Quadruple distancing, right? With you. For COVID, yeah. It took me a while,
Right, come and join us. Give us your thoughts. Tell us who you thought was man of the match. I'm going for Bassey. I thought Golson was good and maybe the class, but Big Bassey, he brought a smile to my face. Bridgman's went for Lundstrom. Who are you going for, Linda?
I'm going to go for Golson. I think that'd be my man of the match.
Give us your thoughts. Phone in. Give us your thoughts. 3 different man of the matches. That's going to be a good thing, Bridgman.
Yes, I really and truly thought that all 5 of our defenders, apart from young Patterson, you could see him running out of steam there. But the other 4, excellent, and then Lundstrom in among it. I just couldn't say no to Lundstrom. But really and truly, I'm very delighted that one of you at least picked Bassey and the other one's picked Golson. I'm sure someone else would go and pick Big Balogun because they had good games. Every one of them had good games for us.
A step in the right direction, I think. Yeah, blue shoots, Linda, blue shoots.
Yeah, and as I say, we've been waiting for the team to kick on over the last few weeks, haven't we? It's been a bit of a stop-start season in terms of the team that he's been able to pick with different things, injuries, COVID issues, suspensions, and I think Gerard said himself, it's been difficult to actually pick a squad, never mind a team. So I just think hopefully we'll kick on. The level of performances will be increased, and as we said, Ox, we do need to start scoring goals and not having one goal and then hanging on to the end, etc. I mean, we did that quite well last year in terms of the number of 1-0 wins that we had. I mean, we spoke about that quite a lot last season. But sometimes defensively, we've not looked as if we could maybe see out a game 1-0. So we're always looking for that second goal, and if we can get a third, then even better. But yeah, hopefully we'll get these 3 games out the way before the next international break, and hopefully 3 victories.
Yeah, I hope so. That's what we're looking for. Then it becomes a reasonable start, isn't it? If we could manage these 3 victories, yeah, you're in the semi-final of the Cup, you've got some points on the board, Europa, and you're definitely sitting points clear at the top of the league, yeah. Then it becomes a reasonable start. I'm not saying a great start because we've had big downs, but it becomes reasonable. Bridgman?
Yeah, I agree 100% with what you say there. Sometimes, I must admit, sometimes there's always a wee bit of it within the team, because it's if a player makes a mistake, other players, not everybody in the team, but some players will feel will take umbrage against him because he makes mistakes, and them, for that matter, make mistakes. But sometimes that settles in, and you can't get rid of that for maybe 2 or 3 games. But you need really good squad communication to get the team right. That's what you really need. And Rangers are getting there. They're getting there. I don't know of any squabbling within the squad. Maybe you could tell us different, but I don't think there is.
There's only me and you squabbling about you going to Hampden and giving them all your money.
I'm just I'm hoping I'm not getting them, but I will have to. Maybe I might not get it. I might not get drawn out. You see, might not get drawn out.
If there's any justice in the world,
You have to watch it on the telly.
Aye. Well, look, Bridge, I hope you get a ticket, mate, like everybody else. I hope the 35,000 that was there who want to go get the tickets, mate. That's my own thoughts, But we'll see what it takes. It's great to be in the semi-final. Hope we don't have a Sadiq one. Hope we have a Hearts one, and then go on and win the cup, Linda.
Oh, that would be fabulous. And as I said earlier, some of the players have never been to Hampden, so looking forward to seeing, the semi-final, whoever we get. We've just got to beat whoever we're drawn against. And as I said, it would be lovely to get through that and get to a final. The cups, we've been successful in this particular competition over the years, Ox, haven't we? Obviously not recently, but it was a cup that we just won routinely. Particularly,
Yep, over the years, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
We absolutely did. And it would be nice to lift that again and get a trophy in the cabinet before Christmas. And I think that this group of players, they want to win more trophies. There's no doubt about that. And as I say, I think it would be marvellous if we could do that.
Here.
Oh, please, let's make that happen.
Yep, aye.
We're going to ask you a question, Oxter. We're going to ask you a question today. I'd like to know. Sorry.
I'm not used to this. Carry on.
I know. It's just a quick question. Maybe yourself and Linda would like to comment on it. I'm wondering, and we had a wee conversation during the game last night, why do referees use the play on, possession thing, let you run one with the ball and all that nonsense, You've got possession, let them play it out. No, they play it in completely opposite when it's for Rangers. Rangers never seem to get any benefit of the play on, And the guy's been clattered and he's injured and he's lying there, and you don't stop the game and give him it. Yet Rangers, they get a wee chance, or they get really clattered and you really want them to stop it and they don't do it. Then they play on for something else.
The big incident was the incident out in the wing with Hadji, and the referee played on and we were up. We should have scored.
We should have scored. We should have done. But it's no fit. It's just no right when they do half of these things,
I think I'm no one for spreading rumours, but I think you don't like referees.
Oh, I've got no time for them. Sorry. I love it, my bits. Referees, if you're listening, I love you to bits.
I've never seen a referee get in the way as much last night. How many times did the ball hit him? That's bad refereeing.
Seriously. I'm shouting at him for the quote. What are you doing? You're not supposed to be playing here. Get off. Anyway, goodness, we're going to do it.
Get the referees in. Right, get yourselves on mute. We're going to have a tune. Please come and join us. We need callers to make this show work. Take it away. All school boy.
Glenn Kamara, he fires the ball like Canada. It runs 1 miles and more farther. He's a midfield star. He's tremendous. When setting back, he'll defend us, and on the attack, he will send us on to victory. And I want you to know that Glenn Kamara cost us 50 grand. And I want you to know that Glenn Kamara, he's gonna be a star for me and a star for you. A star in Rangers Royal Blue, a star in every single game. 'Cause he's electric, you'll never forget his name. 'Cause he is electric, you'll never forget his name. We had McGregor, Tav and Goldson and Borna at the back. Alfie Kent, Refeat and Defoe in attack. Davis, Jack, Kamara, Arfield, Hadji came alive. With Helen, Dead and Balogun, they won us 55. We love you Rangers, we do. We love you Rangers, we do. We love you Rangers, we do. Oh Rangers, we love you. Not forgetting Joe Aribo, his name we couldn't fit. Like Edmondson and Barker, we knew they'd done their bit. McLaughlin, Jones and Bassey, Bungani, Zunga, and Nico Katic couldn't play, but he's Rangers through and through. We love you Rangers, we do. We love you Rangers, we do. We love you Rangers, we do. Oh Rangers, we love you. So Stephen Gerrard came to Ibrox along with Gary Mack, and they were set the challenge to bring the title back. The day that he arrived, he ended on let's go, and now he's there for all to see. The league flags coming home. We love you Rangers, we do. We love you Rangers, we do. We love you Rangers, we do. Oh Rangers, we love you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Oh, Jodie. He'll be back with you soon, Jodie. Enjoy that, Linda.
Yeah, great tunes. Fantastic singer. Really good.
Top girl. Top
Yeah.
girl. Like yourself, man. Like yourself, man. Glenn Kamara, that was quite apt, wasn't it?
You sook.
Pritch man.
That's shock.
Glenn Kamara, that was quite apt. Great news yesterday. Linda.
Okay, well, we're all waiting for that to be announced, and I think every Rangers fan just wanted him to sign the new contract, and he deserves it, Ox. You know, he's been a fantastic signing, and considering, what was it, 50 grand we paid for him, as the song goes. I think he said he was obviously delighted, the club are delighted. I think the management team really rate him, so he signed through to 2025, and I think we're just protecting our assets, aren't we? And I think we probably do see Glenn Kamara as one of our sort of biggest assets, I think.
Yeah, being Bridge used to do that when we stood in the wall, protect our assets, Bridge.
Nearly fell out when you said that. A lot of truth in that, by the way. A lot of truth.
Oh, dear. But great news about Glenn Kamara.
Yeah, I think certainly deserved for the boy. You know, he's got hope he got what he wanted. And if what he wanted was another contract with Rangers and he's got it, brilliant. Now he can go out and show us what he's got. You can see the boy's got class. You can see he's a good player. And he'll fit into virtually any midfield and any position in the midfield that the Rangers want to play him in, I'm sure. Wonderful player, really nice guy. And, you know, he is a really nice guy. And I'm absolutely gutted for him with that nonsense about the racism. Just a sin, you know, just a sin. I just want Mr. Goldson now to do the same thing. See sense and get it done. Just get it done.
Yeah, listen, 4-year contract. Obviously, there'll be clauses in it, Linda. If somebody come in with stupid money and have the right to talk to them, I would say that was standard. But the fact that he's tied himself for 4 years is a commitment for both parties.
Yeah, you would expect that, Ox. And, you know, if somebody does come in with a certain amount of money, that figure will be probably, you know, written in. And, you know, you don't mind that, because obviously it's going to make money for the club in the future anyway. But he's obviously not even reached his peak yet, Glenn Kamara. There's a lot more to come from him, I think. If he could, I think Gary Mack was talking about that as well. If he could just add a few goals to his game as well, Ox, I think, you know, he'd be even better. There's a wee bit of reluctance to shoot. I don't know if it was Sunday or last night he had a shot at goal, but I always think, and my brother always says this as well, he gets into some really good shooting positions, but he always seems to be reluctant to put his foot through the ball and have a shot. But
it was last night. He dragged one wide last night, didn't he? First half, yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably one of the things that we were all desperate to see him do, is to shoot a bit more and get some goals for us. But okay, he's a terrific player, and as I say, everybody at the club will be delighted that he's signed a new contract.
Aye, yeah. Give us your thoughts. 0141 356 1972. Come and join us. Give us your thoughts on the great news, in my opinion, that Glenn Kamara has committed his future to Rangers. We don't know how long, because as Bridge rightly says, people come and people go with big offers, Bridge.
Absolutely, pal. Absolutely. And, it only takes one offer and it could be away, But I do hope, that's why I say it's as long as it's been his choice and it's what he wanted to do. I don't want him to be there because he's under pressure for anyone. It's a purely personal thing, and I hope he's the person who's made it live with it, got on with it and play for Rangers. You'll not play for a better club, that's for sure. There isn't even many better clubs than Rangers. That's the God's honest. Great chances in Europe. Who could give him that?
I think they've announced the attendance for the other side of the city. I think there's 72,000 there tonight. 72,000.
Remember they used to over there, the cameras never came above the first. They never showed the second tier and things like. I wonder if they'll do that in their TV. Keep the cameras set. They can't get any higher than the first tier. They used to do that. Winning games. What a club! What a club!
Yeah, and great news for the club that, for us on Rangers Radio, will have a regular feature starting again next week from the Rangers ladies team.
Oh, excellent. Be good.
Yes. But me and Fox, they did invite us to the end of season party. They just didn't tell us where it was. So,
they know what you two are like, that's why. Oh dear.
But aye, so we're looking forward to that, and a wee feature with some of the players, the ladies team, the women's team, who hopefully can go a lot better this year and get some silverware, Linda.
Yeah, I think they've just been on that international break. I did watch a wee bit of the Scotland game the other night, and there was a few Rangers players involved, so that was good. But okay, they definitely need to challenge, and hopefully they can get themselves into a position where they can win the league. But they'll just be taking one game at a time as usual, Ox. But yeah, big things ahead, hopefully, for the women's team.
Yeah. Hopefully go. Well, we'll be joined by a caller, and I'll give you a clue. It's not the Totty for Lanzarote. How we doing, Andy?
How you doing, Ox, Linda, Bridge? I've been trying to get some of the other guys in, but they've all gone shy right enough. So you've got the shyest one of the four of us tonight, like so.
Yes.
It's definitely not him right enough. I'm not sure the plane's got off the ground yet, to be honest with you. But we'll see if he's back tomorrow, He's not going to live that down. I'll tell you what, Spanish Billy's waiting for him after this morning. I'm telling you, he's getting it big style tomorrow.
I had some comments about that, mate. That was the big Stevie. What a lie! Done in the best taste, done in the best possible taste. Anyway, what's on your mind, mate?
Just like what you were saying with Kamara, I think that's good for both parties, isn't it, really? And if anybody does want him, that's going to have to be big money into it, right? So yeah, it's good. I just like to hope he settles down now, and as Linda just said there, when he gets into the positions, have a few shots and see what happens. That's what we're lacking, really, isn't it? Which is the strangest thing that I find for we're shooting outside the box and all that, because we get Stephen Gerrard and Gary McAllister that both like to, have a shot at goal, don't they? So
they were both past masters at it, weren't they?
Oh, definitely, yeah. So you you would think they would be trying to instruct. Well, they keep saying that they're telling him to do that, but there's some apparent reason when they get out in the park there, they're not doing it right enough. I'd like to see them do that, because you get a deflection or anything, can't you? Or even a breakdown that drops down to one of our players, So I'd like to see them get a bit more of that in the game. Hopefully, after last night, we step it up a bit come Saturday night, in the league game, get the 3 points that we're looking for. I thought we started all right, 10 minutes. Got a bit laboured after it. Second half, I think he gave him a rollick in there, didn't he? And we came out and played a bit better. As you were saying about Bassey, definitely he's a character, isn't he? I'm really warm into that guy,
I'm not saying he's going to be the most cultured player we'll ever have, but there's times he makes you laugh.
Oh, he's brilliant. I liked him from the first 2 or 3 games. He puts a smile on your coupon, doesn't he? Just watching him,
I'll give you that. He gives you everything, and look, he's not played that much football, so he got a bit of cramp. But if the manager sees something in him and he keeps progressing, he's very young. I think he's only maybe less than a year older than Patterson. So, I know he's a bigger unit than Patterson, but we'll see what it takes us with Bassey. I mean, he's raw and but God, he gives you everything around there.
Oh, definitely. You imagine trying to take that big guy on. You wouldn't fancy that big guy coming at you, would you? But I think he can turn into be a player, to be honest. When you look at him, you think, no, he can't play football. He's more like an heavyweight boxer, isn't he? But he gets something doing that wing, and, he gets some decent crosses. I know he had a few, like you said, the St Johnstone game, he got caught wanting. That kind of happened to him at the St Mirren game in the League Cup when we get knocked out last season. But, he's young, he's learning and all that, and I think he'll be all right. I thought Patterson had a great game, I know. I think he would have scored that goal. That would have been brilliant, but I think he got up there and did pretty well, so a good 60 minutes under his belt and all that. So hopefully, that they'll get more game time as we play more games, and it's inevitable, isn't it? Injuries, suspensions and all that. So the two boys mainly need to stay calm, keep the heat, and just wait for the chance, don't they? That's how I'm looking at it now. They two.
Aye, we'll see what it takes us. I mean, I think you might be getting it right, Gerard, in my opinion, Linda. You take them in, you bring them out, and you let them develop. And eventually, if you get it right, they'll take over, at the right time.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the fans have been a wee bit concerned about Patterson, and if he doesn't get enough time, that he might want to leave. But he's at a big club, and as you say, he is still young and he is still developing. So, if he wants to stay at the club, he will stay. So, and for Bassey, he's been given an opportunity to come to a big club, sign for us. He talks very well. He's wanting to learn, and as you say, he is a bit raw. Sometimes he just needs to take care of his defensive duties, I think, and what he can give us going forward. He can add that to his game, but he's quite quick, as Andy said. But it'll be interesting to see what happens on Saturday. It is a bit different playing at home against Livy you go away to a tight pitch at Dundee, and maybe in some of the away games, he hasn't played as well as we would have liked. So it will be interesting to see what Stevie G does at the weekend.
Bridgeman.
I don't think Stevie G will do very much, to be honest, as far as that's concerned. I think Steven Gerrard is going to be extremely happy, particularly with that second half, because his team played some really nice football during that. They actually played sometimes no bad football in the first half, but they failed to score. But some of the moves they had in the second half were really good stuff. The linking was magic, the interplay was superb. And that's what he wants. So I don't think he's going to have many complaints about that. I don't know if he's going to play this. I don't know if he'll play Patterson again. I don't think so. I think Patterson's going to probably be injured. That's probably what's wrong with him. And that's my honest opinion. I think Bassey could play, but again, the last 15 minutes last night, he was gone. His legs had gone. I don't know if it was cramp or whatever he had, but certainly his legs were gone. And he was told to stay back. Don't run up the park anymore. And that's where what's his name? Lindstrom told him just to stay back a bit. He never kicked the ball hardly in the last 15 minutes of the game. So the injuries, unbeknownst to everybody, there's injuries there for sure. Yeah, to be added to the ones that we've got, and when it will come back. So there's going to be confusion, and there's going to be, shall we say, decision making of the highest order by Mr. Gerrard, just to see it through for us. That's what needs to be done, in my opinion.
Do you think he'll start on Saturday, Andy? Passy?
No, I think he'll do it back to type. I think it'll be Bonner on one side and Tab on the other. Bonner concerns me greatly, and there's something not right with him at all. He must be the softest Croatian I've ever come across him. I think I just can't get him at all. I really can't. He has good spells, but he has. If you look at him, he has a lot of bad spells or long spells where he can't defend. He gets the wrong side of the defender a lot of time. But that's just my opinion, But I think that time he was greeting after we beat the Filth, man. I'd be greeting the way he was playing some of these times, But that's just him,
Go yourself, Andy boy.
You've got to say it as you see it, haven't you, Ox? You know what I mean?
Roy Walker.
Aye.
Maybe try that for the kids, catch streets, but we could be here all night with one of them, couldn't we? Imagine that Southside and Big Stevie. Oh dear.
Totti for Lanzarote.
Listen, Bridge, he loves it that much, right enough. He's actually changed his nickname to Totty. If you go on his text or his Facebook, he's known as Totty now. He don't know what he's let himself in for, honestly. He really doesn't.
Uh-huh. He'll be stuck with that one, I think, Andy.
Well, he's actually, like I say, he's actually changed his actual nickname on his feed here. I call him Totty Tenchins now. That's what I did on the end of it, like,
Tenchins, that's shocking, by the way.
I'm no one for spreading rumours, Andy, as you well know, but somebody told me more chins than a Chinese phone directory.
You're no kidding, he's been told that a million times, I'll tell you by me. And then he says, so I can't see what you're saying. He thinks I'm fatter than him. He needs to look in the mirror.
Oh dear. Right, enough.
What a shocking user.
The Totty for Lanzarote. Right, okay. We're really pleased about Glenn Kamara, and that's him 2025. We've got a few contracts up this year, Linda.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a few 2022, and then you're looking to a year beyond that as well, Ox. And I think next year, some of the main ones, you've got Golson, McGregor, Davis, Balogun, McLaughlin, Arfield, they're all up. Their contracts are all up next year. So it'd be interesting to see if any of them got offered new deals.
Can I just come in on that for a second?
Yes.
I don't think we should count Davis and McGregor. I think they will automatically be offered an extension, a year's extension. That's what I think will happen. They're not going to go anywhere else. I can't see.
No, they might retire, Bridge. They might retire.
Of course they might. That's their prerogative. But they ain't going anywhere, in my opinion. I just see them. They are Rangers through and through, the two of them. I just don't see them going anywhere.
They're not moving.
We don't want them to retire. I don't want them to retire. I want Rangers to keep them on a different contract. Once they finish playing, get in there for a coaching or something like that and stay at Ibrox. They'll be great influence and they're well liked.
Right.
Sorry, too loud there.
We'll see what it takes us, but obviously that'll be a big decision for them. They'll know how they feel, Andy, as they drive there to do in our pre-season.
I was thinking maybe at the end of the season they might offer them like a pay-as-you-play deal. They could, if Father Time does catch after. Another question I'd like to throw at you there, right enough, is do you think Arfield's shot now? Or do you think he can make a comeback like he did after the last injury he had and he come back Arfield in the team? Yeah.
Scotty Arfield's been excellent for us since he signed for Stevie G. This is his fourth season. We up the quality and we're trying to play differently, and I think he's going to get bits and pieces. But is he going to be a regular starter? I don't think so. I could see this potentially being his last season at the club. And I think Scotty would maybe get a move. He might go to America or somewhere, and I think he might play. But I don't think he would get a deal the way it is at the moment. But if he gets the team and gets his form back that he got this time last season, yes. But at the moment, no. Wonder.
Yeah, I would agree, Ox. I think he's been really great for Rangers. I've loved watching Scott Arfield, particularly when he's been in good form. But it might be his last year, but he would have to really, recapture some of that great form. Everybody loves him, but potentially I would agree this could be the last time we see him this season.
Yeah, that was my thinking as well.
Yeah, Bridge, you the same?
Arfield, I think they'll offer Arfield another contract. Is he not just 29?
No, he's about 31, 32.
He's 31, they offer, goodness sake. I'm living in Fool's Paradise then.
Mm.
Well,
this is his fourth
offer
season.
him a 2-year contract, couldn't you? You could offer him a rolling years contract and come to an agreement, whatever that is.
I don't think so. All you're doing is clogging up the system there, Andy, aren't you, with players that a bit parts.
Yeah, I don't see a point in keeping them there late enough if they're winding down and all that. Then we've got to make sure that the next generation's coming behind them, and we start building the bricks of putting in the new Rangers team. Being a great servant, I like Arfield. I got a lot of time for him late enough, but just see when he comes on and does a wee bit pass. I always say bring them on for 10 minutes and all that. Well, that's stupid because it takes you 15 minutes to get into a game, so you don't really see. But you don't have that look about him anymore. Looks to have lost a yard or something for me. But I might be wrong. Maybe just that he's not getting enough game time. And I liked him. I said he reminds me last year when he got dropped out of the team. And I said I thought like when he got dropped out and he got back in, the penny had dropped with him. He come and had that sequence of games where he was on fire.
He's 33 in November, Bridge.
Wow, I never thought that.
For the rest of his life, people will walk past Scott Arfield and salute him. Wonder.
Yeah, I love that wee salute. And remember last season, certain fans from across the city said the last thing they wanted to see was that wee saluting himself to the title, and he did it exactly, and it was just absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I love Scotty Arfield, I really do.
Talking about people we love, we couldn't find any, but we've been joined by Spanish Billy. How are we doing, Billy?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going?
Good
evening, Billy.
Hi, Billy.
Hi, Billy.
Sandy not saying hello.
He did.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he blew you a kiss as well. Carry on.
Aye.
Well, before I begin, I'd just like to back up and attest to what Andy was saying about the Totti for Lanzarote. It's right enough. He's genuinely changed his name in our wee group on Facebook. There's a few of us, and he's actually changed his name to that. So instead of coming up Alex, it comes up Totti for Lanzarote.
Big Steve will be looking for royalties.
Aye, but Andy, he's now adorned him with the nickname Totty 10 Chans, and it tickles me silly, Totty 10 Chans.
What's on your mind, mate? What's on your mind?
Oh, nothing in particular. Just last night, I think I was sort of reached breaking point a wee bit. I was so frustrated with the first half. Much better in the second, but I done some amount of ranting in the first half. I think it's just been the repetition of not being able to rectify these problems we've had all season. Sloppy, heavy passes, wayward passes, and I've praised the Rebel as much as anybody, but last night was potentially in the first half the worst I've seen him. I think he was wearing my dad's fishing waders, to be honest, in that first half.
Yeah, I agree. He's one of his poorest games in a long time. He couldn't do much right at all. No fault in his effort, but it just wasn't coming off for him. Carry on.
No, I don't know. It was just like a completely different person last night, and I was just getting very, very frustrated, but absolutely delighted that we got the job done, and that's us back to Hampden, and hopefully we can do what we're meant to do and what we've based our history on, and that's win trophies, and hopefully actually start to dominate now. We stopped their dominance last season. Now it's about writing another chapter in our history and actually imposing our will on the rest of Scottish football properly again, and that's doing doubles and trebles.
Linda?
Yeah, I would agree with Billy. And for the club, probably the European run is really important because it brings in finance. But for the fans, we want to, win trophies, don't we? And domestically is obviously our best shot at that. I agree with what you said about Aribo, Billy. I was at the game, and people all round about were getting a bit frustrated by him. But we were saying earlier, he's played a lot of games, so maybe he's just a bit tired, a bit sort of leggy, and maybe one of the other players will come in and get a chance to maybe replace him. But no, it's just fantastic to get a semi-final, and hopefully we'll get to the final and get another trophy.
That's exactly what we want as well, isn't it? Get to the final and get another trophy. Just wonderful.
That's what it's all about. You've got to, when you get this far, you've got to go to 2 stages further. Andy?
Yeah, well, we get in the semi-finals again. Always seem to be dwelling on the past, Mary, but traditionally we usually get through the semi-final and go on and win it. But I just think it'd be an absolute great fillip for the Rangers if we could actually win this first trophy, and then the turn 2 sides of a coin. Then they've actually won the league and actually won a trophy, so they felt it, and then we go forward and start taking up trophies that we expect to win, and then if they get a good run in Europe as well, it'll be a good season. And then you can say there's, like we were saying, we've got to improve on the season past. Well, we were never going to be, see where the season we had apart from the Cups, it was always going to go down a ways because we didn't get beaten in any league game. So, I said that I shrugged at the start of the season, you've got to accept that. But we can go and retain our league and then win a trophy. Hopefully the treble is what I think from what we're getting here is we're all craving. But for me, it's just, make sure that we'll keep getting the points in the league, get that first trophy, and then we'll see what happens in the Scottish Cup. But it would be nice if we could get that League Cup. As I said many times, it traditionally has anyway. I think we've won it about 27 times or something, right enough. But it's just such a long, long time that we've not actually lifted a trophy. It's kind of great with us all, I think. So, yeah, let's I'm not bothered who we get, to be honest with you. I take St Johnstone just to try and put the rights away where we, bore it against them last season. But anybody that comes, like in the semi-final, what the carrot is. The carrot's the final, and then you go on and win it. So whoever we get, let's just get the job done. But it's about Dundee on Saturday now, isn't it? Is it a 3 o'clock kick-off, that? Saturday.
Yes.
Is it on live TV or early enough? No?
No, I don't believe it's going anywhere, mate. No.
Right, I just find that strange because usually the away games are usually on Sky, aren't they, or BT Sports or something like that.
I don't think they're happening this season, pal. I don't think they're happening this season, except for the selective few.
Right, okay. Right.
They're showing other teams, mate, and everybody's clamouring to watch all these other games.
Oh, right.
Oh, they're brilliant.
Well, like you say there, that's they put it out big about the disco lights, didn't they? Come down tonight, we'll give you a good show with the lights. Aye, right, on you go.
Brilliant, mate. Couldn't make it up. No. Couldn't make it up. What was your thoughts? We've not heard Billy. What was your thoughts on the new players that have come in so far? We've not heard very much. Lundstrom, Sakala, obviously Bakuna last night. What's your thoughts on them? First impressions?
Well, starting with Sakala, I thought like the first few appearances, I was concerned that he was maybe going to become another Itten in terms of a lot of times when Itten had featured was when the team as a whole, as a collective, weren't playing well. So in turn, he wasn't getting service or delivery and wasn't really getting a chance. And I felt that with Sakala, you know, he was always running, always looking, always trying to be really positive, but he spent a lot of time with his back towards the goal, which is obviously unnatural for him. I thought last week, first 45 minutes, I thought he was brilliant, and I think that was the first chance we got a proper look at him to see what he's capable of doing, and more of a taste of what he's about. So that was really positive and good to see, because I was just scared of maybe the fans getting on his back a wee bit unfairly with him not getting the service to show what he could do. So I have hopes for Sakala, but I'm not getting too carried away. As for Lundstrom, I'm totally indifferent on him. Not for him or against him, but thought last night was his best game in a Rangers jersey. I don't really have much of an opinion on him, to be honest. But Kuna, big question, you know, where's he going to play in the park? I'm hoping he's been brought in as that link between the midfield and the forwards, or like playing through the middle a bit more, because we definitely need that. We definitely need somebody to go and try and take on players in the middle of the park, and hopefully he's the sort of player that can do that.
Andy, you with us?
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with what William's saying there. Right enough, the Lumsden one, I'll go a little bit deeper with that, but I'll behave myself. I'll behave myself. I don't rate him at all, not at all. That's all I'll say on that. If he proves me wrong, I'll stick my hands up and say, yeah, got that one wrong, but I'm not convinced with him at all. As I say, no, just not. I'll leave that one because my steam will start going right enough with him. I'm just not sure about him.
I'll let Bridge come in. He sees it differently. Bridge.
Yeah, I quite like the guy. I think he's a smashing player. I think he's going to be a big star for us. I enjoyed what he did last night. Big improvement. He's improving every game, and his performance last night was excellent for me. I made him man of the match, not for nothing. I really liked him, and I think if he continues that way, we've got a big star in our hands. Seriously, big star. But we could be wrong.
We'll watch this one then, Bridge. We'll see who comes out.
Yeah,
on this
develop. Yeah. I'm right in between the two of you at the minute, but I'm somewhere in the middle. Yeah, the pendulum's still swinging for me, and I'm in the middle, and we'll see how it develops. Linda.
Yeah, a wee bit like that as well, Ox. But it's just that I think he's been asked to play a different role, and it's maybe going to take him a wee bit of time to settle in. As you said earlier, Ox, he's playing deep, so he's not getting a chance to go up and influence the attacking play that Billy was hoping he was going to do. Albeit he was kind of involved in the 2 goals, but for the majority of the game he was playing quite deep. And I don't know whether he's maybe going to play when Stephen Davis is being rested. And I don't know if we'll ever see the two of them in the same team if you go with the roles that he's been asked to play so far. So I don't know. I think we're going to have to give him a wee bit more time. But yeah, the jury probably is still out.
It's funny how we'll see it slightly different. We'll see where it goes, and obviously if he gets a bit of consistency, Andy will be the first one, as he usually is, to come on and say, well, I'm glad he's playing well. I got it wrong initially, or I'll come on and say, told you.
Yeah, well, there's no in between with me, as you know. But look, I want him to do well. I want everybody that plays in that Rangers shirt to do well. We don't want to come on and be banging with players out. But, you only say it as you see it. And that's the only way. That's the way I was brought up. You just say it as you see it. But, what I see comes out of my eyes, as Bridges alluded to, he's seen different. He was at the game. I'm watching it on the telly, if you get what I mean. And Bridges seen the movement that you don't really see when you're watching through the the screen. So, about the judgment, if I'm wrong, I'll always stick my hands up, as you know. But there's just something about it. I didn't like the press conference again. I know he's only there a couple of weeks, but he looked like somebody was going to shoot him, man. He looked like he was a rabbit in headlights. It's hard up here. Well, he better toughen up, because that is Scottish football in a whole. It is hard. Not the greatest players in the world, but by hell, you know you're in the game. So he's going to need to toughen up, isn't he?
Aye. So we're moving on, and just quickly, both of your thoughts on Kamara signing that contract. I think I might ask you, Andy. Sorry, get Williams' thoughts.
Yeah.
Kamara. Yeah.
I'll be honest. Just what you were saying there about Lundstrom, that's sort of how I felt about Kamara at the start. When Kamara came in at the start, I didn't understand what everybody saying on him, obviously, because I'm not a professional footballer coach or anything, but I just didn't get it, and absolutely delighted to be proved wrong. And we've improved him as a player, and he's improved us as a team. And look, I was getting frustrated that he wouldn't just sign the thing, but it's brilliant business, and has already been said tonight. It's brilliant for him, brilliant for the club, and brilliant for the fans, and we're protecting our asset and protecting his value, and I wouldn't begrudge him a move, to be honest. He's done very, very well for us, and I wouldn't begrudge him a move, but hopefully, he keeps the focus and the concentration, and we see the best of him the rest of the season, because this is an absolutely massive season for us, bigger than last year, and I just wish him all the best and hope he finds his best form and can continue it.
He's been a bit... He's set his own standards, and I don't know if he's quite reached them. He's had some decent games this season, but if he can get back to his top form, he's some asset, Linda.
Okay, yes, he had a fantastic season last year, didn't he, Ox? And he's an internationalist. He's going away playing with Finland, and I know he plays a slightly different position for his national team. But he's a bit like the rest of the team, Ox, in terms of as a whole. We just haven't quite hit the heights yet. But hopefully they will, and if that's his contract all settled now, maybe that's him. He'll just he'll crack on and recapture some of that for him. But as I said earlier on, I would just love him to chip in with a few goals.
He needs to bring that to his game. You're spot on. I don't think anybody would argue with that, just to move you to a different level. Or that he would have to play a different role, that sort of deep line defensive player, Andy,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, if he could add that to his game, I think he would see a far, far better player. I don't know if it's just something in him that that he has a fear of himself, but he gets himself into good positions to have shots at times, and hopefully Gerrard and McAllister and the backroom staff there are going to try, and now they've got him signed and all that and got him hopefully settled, they're going to chip away in his ear there and say, come on, I'll have a few shots here, son. You can do it, and he can bring that to Rangers. Because I think you need 15 to 20 goals a season, maybe a couple of more than that, coming out of the midfield. If you get that, it takes the pressure off the striker, and the striker starts scoring. And then, that two comes together, then the defence just take care of itself. As I said before, the problem is that if we're at 1-0, we're not out of a second gear that we're doing. Our defence suddenly becomes a wee bit shaky. It gets a wee bit worried, and from suddenly these teams are doing nothing, they start getting a free kick around the box or a shy, and ball goes in. We seem to get a bit strange on myself. So yeah, let's get the midfield going and get them scoring a few goals. The strikers, like you said there earlier on, the last 3 goals have come from strikers. Is what you expect 90% of the time out of your team. So if we could get the midfield and the strikers going in tandem, we'll be okay. It'll come. I keep saying it will come. We can't. There's no way we can keep playing this bad. If we do get worse than what we've been doing, then we're going to start losing the plot. But I don't see that. It's about getting settled. I'd like to see the injuries, the COVID, everything sorted out. And then he picks what he thinks is his team, his spine, his team, and then the rest.
Are you ever going to get that? Being a manager, just when you think somebody else will get suspended or injured, didn't you? It's just a moving ball, mate. You know,
that's true, Ox. I can't disagree with what you said there.
You know, just when you think you've got it, somebody will run into somebody in training and that'll be it, won't it? You know, it's just you just have to deal with it. Everybody gets team injuries and suspensions, Linda, and COVID's in the mix at the moment as well.
Yeah, all the clubs have been having to deal with that. I mean, the injuries and suspensions naturally every season, but the COVID is obviously is a new thing, and it's been affecting us particularly this season. Last year they were all in their bubbles, so maybe they were more protected, but and it's probably going to continue for the foreseeable future anyway, Ox. But okay, he's not had a settled squad to pick from at all, and so we've got to just remember we're in the semi-finals of the League Cup. We're top of the league. We haven't obviously qualified for the Champions League, but we're in a reasonably good position, and we're not even got out a second gear.
It's a great point, Bridge.
Absolutely, yeah. On the Kamara thing, I think Kamara's sorry.
No, carry on.
On the Kamara thing, I think Kamara just thinks he's lost when he sees the 18-yard box. I really do. And he's one of these reluctant ones who doesn't want to have a shot. It's not in his psyche. He thinks probably he's there to make passes and set things up for other people. But as I think it was Andy, it says what's need to be done. He's got to be coached. Now that he's here, and he's going to be here for another 3-4 years. Now's the time to maybe start coaching him into the ways of shooting and have a shot at goal from all these different angles. Not to say he hasn't had a shot in his life, but I think he likes to play, and he likes to play football, and he likes to set things up for other people, and that's where he gets his enjoyment. And that's got to maybe that's got to change, and that's all there is to it. Maybe it's got to change. You just got to start having a shot, because we're all dying for him to score. He's had 3 or 4 shots over the last 2 games, or 3 games there, and each one's just past the post. Let's hope the next one gets closer, and so on and so forth. That's what we're all looking for. Go for it, son. You can do it.
You also want, Andy, I'll go to Andy then, Billy, you also want your midfield to score maybe half a dozen tap-ins this season as well, eh?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we're on top, and your midfield's doing their stuff, and they get into your ribbon midfielders. You tend to get that if one starts scoring a couple, the other starts to follow. I know when I used to play, I used to have a bit with a guy that had scored more from midfield than he would. So it drives you on right enough. I mean, in life as a human being, you always take if you're good at a certain thing, then you go, right, I'm going to try and see if I can perfect this wee bit, and that is. Bridges just said there, that's what Kamara should be looking at now. He's got the tools now. Add the scoring tools, because when he does score, I mean that the one over in Europe there last season, he's a good player. Just get it into his game. But as Bridges said there, if it's in his psyche, and he's wanting to set guys up and all that, it's something that's in his head that he has to sort of work on. But, the 2 guys that can score goals for the Rangers, the 2 managers that we've got, if they can get in his head, then good. And let's see where we go. It would be nice if we had it to his game, definitely.
He's really surprised
midfield score goals.
What's really surprised me is his turn of pace, Linda, around Kamara. Yeah, no many people get away from him.
No, he's very quick, isn't he? Particularly over kind of 10 to 15 yards, Ox. And, he's good in the ball. He used to do that wee blind pass at times, but he doesn't seem to do that anymore. So he's really up the overall quality of his game. And as we say, a couple of goals from Glenn and we'll be happy.
Aye. And goals breed confidence, Billy. Yeah.
I think if you send Kamara to a training camp over here for a week, he'd soon learn how to shoot. I think that's what he needs. The thing that surprises me is with the type of player that Gerrard is, or was, he wasn't afraid to have a pop. So, I'm surprised he's not drilling it into certain players a bit more. But I agree with what Reg and Andy had said. I do believe that he enjoys playing football, and I think he tries to play that attractive football. But that's the one gripe I really, really can't stand, is he just won't shoot. You know, he can be 10 yards out, gets into fantastic space, and he's always looking for that pass instead of just digging it. Could get a deflection, could get a handball, anything. I think 2 seasons ago, I might be wrong, but I think 2 seasons ago we went through a spell where the majority of our goals were coming from the midfield, and I think we need that again. And as Andy had said, you would be hopeful that you'd be getting about 20 odd goals a season from midfield, as well as your forward players doing their job as well.
Cheers, mate. We've been joined by Ian. Evening, Ian. We heard you there. How we doing, mate?
Okay.
Good to hear from you, mate. What's on your mind, brah?
It's nothing Rangers related, actually. It was just, I was away down to Hampden Park with my daughter and my grandson watching the Scottish Ladies last night at Hampden.
All right, mate, all right.
And it was a fantastic game of football. And the football I saw there last night would put some of the men to shame, because that Scottish Ladies team, quick passing, holding the ball, putting it out, crossing it into the box, right into the 6-yard box, a free kick for 35 yards, right into the top right corner. The football was amazing. I had an amazing night, and it's just basically me and my daughter making memories before it's too late, really. So we go to all the Scotland Ladies games, and we're going to the Hungary game next October. But it was just the fact that the way they play last night, I was thinking about the Scottish SPFL teams, and I'm watching the last season. I'm going, Christ, they could get into our league, man, and probably finish about 4th or 5th. No problem. I'm not kidding to you. I mean, the football was amazing last night. Absolutely amazing. You know what I mean? Even though
they were playing the Faroe Islands, is that correct?
Aye. Everybody thinks Faroe Islands, right? Trawler, boatmen and all that skew. Faroe Islands played well last night. They really played good.
Good on
you. Know?
But it takes two teams to have a game of football sometimes, Lyndon, and I think the point Ian makes, sometimes we don't watch that.
Yeah, I watched the game, Ian. It was good that you were there, because there was a lot of girls and there was a lot of children at the match as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, there were about 10,000 there.
Yeah, it looked really great, and I know we're kind of biased in terms of the Rangers players and stuff like that, but it's nice that there's a few. The Scotland team have got some Rangers players in the squad now, and there was a couple of starters. The girl who played left back is Nikki Docherty. She's a cracking player. And Jane Ross played up front. And I don't think Jane scored, but she was involved in a lot of the moves that contributed to the goals. So, and also you've got Erin Cuthbert, who's probably Scotland's best player.
Brilliant.
And she's a wee blue nose as well.
Oh, Rangers staff.
Rangers staff.
Aye, she was woman in the match last night. We said man in the match, and then I said, wait a minute, I can't say that. She's a woman. she was a she was a woman. She was
really good.
She was man in the match last night, but she got carried off. She got a right bad injury. And we Claire Emsley that plays for Scotland in that left wing. I mean, she's non-stop. I mean, she's got some motor in her. Back and forth. I mean, she's doing the left, crossing in, she's in the middle, she's back defending, and she's just non-stop. And all I'm trying to say about the game last night was you hardly see that in any of the games that we're watching, in the men's games.
No, I heard the crowd last night at Ibrox, mate, when I think it was the first few minutes. Bridge might come in this because I'm sure it was in his report. And the Livingston player went down injured and tried to slow the game down. The game had only just started. Bridge, man.
Exactly. I said it, it's not they were copying. Well, that's what I said. They were copying Motherwell, and that's all they did the whole night. And you just they just stop and sit down, and before you know it, they're wanting a trainer to come on, and then they got up. And it's just to get that few minutes away, and I don't know why. Because they never done nothing with it.
The big difference between that and the ladies is the ladies get tackled right back up on their feet, right back up. Then they're just rolling about and I want a magic sponge and I want a new leg or whatever, you know what I mean? They're just straight back up again and going with the free kick and that's it. It's just constant 90-minute fast-flowing football. But anyway, that's all I was going to say. It was just to compare that I was here last night and just to say how good the team is and that they put a lot of the teams in the SPL to shame, to be quite honest with you.
But what I'm more pleased about is the fact that you're getting out and about, Ian, and you're getting to go to events, which is fantastic, and more power to your elbow with you and your daughter, mate.
See, my daughter's here. My daughter, when we stayed in Airdrie, I stay up in Montrose, you see. I come from Airdrie, and my daughter used to play for Cumbernauld Cosmos, and then we moved up here, and she played for our Broth Ladies, and then Montrose Ladies. So she's fit by daft, and I'll get two boys. I'll get two boys, and I'll get two left feet. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what they kind of sport there. I think they just like to walk about as if, I don't know, I'm just a guy. They couldn't kick a ball. But my wee lassie, well, she's 33 now. She does all that fairly 7, if you know what that is. Playing it up on your knees, your shoulders, your head, and rolling it in your back, catching it between your thighs and all that. She does all that still. And she was an amazing football player when she was playing. And she's fit by daft. So, I mean, she goes to the men's games as well. She goes to Ibrox with me.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Do you want to give a shout out to your muckers on YouTube, mate? It's always good to have you on to give them a mention.
Well, there's RFC on there, Malky, Scottish lad, Wolf, I'm trying to think. I don't know if Kim's on yet.
All right. I thought it was
anybody I've missed out, I apologise, but
always great to hear from you, and you look after yourself, and you can come on here anytime and give us any report and anything you're doing, mate. Most welcome. That right, Linda?
Oh yeah, it was lovely to hear from you, Ian. Really nice.
Right, thanks very much. Thanks very much to a lot of you. and I'll go now and I'll say good night to you now, right? Good night, and thanks for letting me on.
Good night.
Well done, Ian. Well done.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Good night.
That last thing that Ian said there, it reminded me of times in the George Square and at midnight service bus and so on and so forth. And you're going, I apologise for what I'm going to do in the next half an hour. That happened, didn't it? Happened.
No comment on that, Bruce. No comment. Right, okay. Andy, Billy, we've reached that time of the evening. Thanks very much for taking the time to come and join us, boys.
No problem. Really enjoyed it again. Always great listening to Rangers Radio and being involved.
Yeah. Billy,
thanks so much for welcoming me back as always, and let's hope we go and do the business at the weekend now.
Here. Bridgeman as usual, but Linda, what about you, Linda, before we go to the bridge?
Yeah, great show, Ox. Really enjoyed it. Lots of great chat, lots of good banter and great discussions. It was nice to hear from the guys that phoned in, and well done, Ian, for going and supporting the women's Scottish team. That was fantastic hearing about that. But yeah, really enjoyed it.
Okay, as I said, we're getting close to our announcement. Close. It's coming. It's the biggest thing we've ever done, and well, as soon as we get it all finalised, you'll all be the first to know. Thanks to Ian who came on. Thanks to Billy. Thanks to Andy, Linda for joining us. But so to Bridgeman.
Well, what can I say? Well, a wonderful night. The night, by the way, really good night. After a tremendous victory for us yesterday to get us through to the semi-final draw, which we don't know is not happened yet anyway, I know of. So we'll be listening in if we can to find out what's happening. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, and to Linda for helping me out here. Absolutely brilliant. Everybody keep it going for the Rangers. Next game's coming up very quickly against Dundee. Keep it going.
We'll be back tomorrow night. We'll be joined by the one and only All Bear. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. We were hoping the draw would be through for the night, but I don't think it is quite yet. But stay safe. Look after yourself. Speak to you soon. Take it away, Old School Boy.